lovely YouTubers? It's me, Morgan Tracy J, coming today with the Women's Wednesday chat. Do you like my festive holiday vibes over here? Do you? Okay. Well, guys, this Women's Wednesday, I want to talk to you all about friendships. Well, guys, honestly, friendships are something that a lot of us women maybe have issues with. Especially if you're a woman who maybe been hurt before by friends, or maybe your friends did some really, wrong, conniving things towards you. And sometimes we can be a little resistant to building new friendships. But first off, what I want to tell you is something that God calls us to do first is to commune with Him. And second, to commune with each other. So with that being said, we have to be open to friendships. There's been plenty of seasons in my life where I haven't truly been open to making friends because guess what? I was afraid of letting someone too close that they actually could hurt me. So today I want to tell you about how friendships actually are beneficial, but also too, we have to acknowledge when God calls us away from friends. The first thing is friendships are beneficial because if you ever feel alone, you can lean into that person. And the second thing that's so beneficial is that if you're ever feeling down or you need an answer or something, a lot of times God can use that friend to give you advice and to allow them to see certain things that you can't see. The third thing about friends that are so beneficial is that you get to connect with somebody that's here and now. I know we love that Jesus is our friend, but it's always good to connect with somebody that you can see, that can speak to you, that you can touch, you can say, hey girl, you can talk. It's always good to connect with someone like that. And so it's beneficial to have friends. It's so beneficial. And then also to have friends that just genuinely love you and you genuinely love them. Through truth and honesty and hurts and downfalls, just friends that you love, all right? So friendships are so beneficial. Next thing, I want to tell you some things that are maybe a sign that maybe friendships for you right now are not. Well, what I want to tell you is there's been a lot of seasons in the Bible where you see where God took prophets and people alone to be with Him. It didn't mean they could take their friends along the journey. What it meant is God needed them to be alone for a certain season so they could get exactly what God had for them. I want to tell you that for us as women, it's so easy for us to run to our girlfriends and talk all night about our issues. It's easy to ask them for advice on certain situations and never run to God. So there are certain reasons why God will remove friends out of our lives for a season, but it's because He wants us to eat out of His hand. Not our friend's hand, not our friend's views, not our friend's judgment, not our friend's advice, but truly from Him. There's been plenty of times in the Bible where God will specifically make people get alone so they could get all that they had, all that God had for them, and to hear the voice of God. What I want to tell you is in some of our seasons, if we find ourselves without friends, let's not despise it, but let's rejoice because God is doing a good work in us. He's actually calling us to be alone right now because there are some things He wants to feed our hearts. He's actually calling us to be alone with our friends because there are some things that He wants to do for us and tell us that we don't have to go and ask anybody for validation because we know it's the voice of God. What I want to tell you today is if you find yourself without friends, don't despise it, but also understand that it's good to have friends. It's so good. But if you find yourself without friends, just say, maybe for this season right now, I'm not meant to have it. And the way I look at it is think of a mother. If a new mother just had a baby, she can't go out every weekend because guess what? Her energy is now being put into her baby. So example, if you're a woman who's focused on your calling, who's built into God, who's just hungry for whatever God has for you, you most likely will not be on Instagram every weekend eating with your girlfriends. You most likely will not be every week going dancing and things in this nature. That's just most likely probably something you won't be doing because your energy will be going to your baby, whatever that is in your life. If it's your calling, if it's a new marriage, if it's a passion, if it's a business, whatever it may be, that is where your energy is going. And so guess what? Some of the things may fall off because your energy is going there. And what I want to tell you, sometimes it's friendships, sometimes it's relationships, sometimes it's extra hobbies that you had. Regardless of whatever it is, sometimes things are going to fall off of you because you're going to put all your energy into that one thing. What I want to tell you is it's great to be in this season, but in that time, God will also begin to work on you and He will begin to show you some new things within yourself. I love friendships. I really do. And I realized for a long time I was afraid of friendships. I was afraid to let people close. I was afraid to open up to women because I always felt like they were going to be mean to me. But that also tied into previous friendships when I was a little girl and things in that nature. So what I want to tell you today is something that's really big is to mend your friendships. It's easy to keep your friendships or to have unforgiveness in your heart and to not talk to that girl anymore and to not like her no more. It's easy to say, I don't have friends because God is calling me to be alone, when honest reality, you never mended the broken friendships that you did have. We have to understand that God requires us to handle everything with our friends first before we come to His altar. We can't come to God and pray prayer if we have unforgiveness in our heart towards a girlfriend. We can't come to God in worship and in truth and in spirit and in truth if we have unforgiveness towards a girl that did something to us in high school. We can't move forward if we're still holding unforgiveness. And so guess what? In my new ebook, Choose Her, I talk a whole 3 chapters on building and having purposeful and meaningful friendships, guys, because it's so beneficial to have these and to mend your friendships. We can't fully walk in God if we still have a little bit of bitterness, unforgiveness, irritation, whatever we have towards that person. We can't fully walk in God. We can't truly praise God in spirit and in truth if in the back of our mind we still have unforgiveness towards somebody. God requires us to commune with Him and to commune with each other. So I want to tell you today, there are so many benefits to having friends. And there may be a season where God takes you through where you may have no friends. But you have to also examine your land and understand why. Maybe some of your friends, maybe not having friends doesn't come from God, but maybe it came from your actions. You have to look at your actions and say, well, you know what? I really wasn't a good friend in this area. I really didn't do my best in this area. I really was short and I was harsh with her in this area. You know what I'm saying? It's good to acknowledge that, mend your friendship so you can go to your altar and you can serve God in spirit and in truth. Well, guys, I love you so much. I pray you got blessed by this Women's Wednesday chat. First thing is mend those friendships if they're broken. Next thing is acknowledge why it's beneficial to have friends. And if God is calling you through a season to put your energy elsewhere, it's okay if you're without friends right now, but trust that God will bring them back and God will bring you new friends, okay? I love you so much, guys. Be sure you like, you subscribe, and you comment down below. And I will see you in my next video. Bye. Hey guys, well, before you go, be sure you head over to hisdaughter'scloset.com and sign up with your email to get all kinds of freebies and to know everything that I'm doing, especially this holiday season, because there are some amazing things coming on my website very, very soon.